What we're doing is responding to some frequently asked questions that we've had in our 20 years of leadership development work. And we also invite you to ask questions and be part of this dialogue with us. So one of the most frequently asked questions over the years is, why do some leaders fail? What is the source of failure, if you will, in leaders? Jim, what do you see in your experience that causes some leaders to just not succeed? And I have a list here, and you could probably add to it yourselves, but here's what I see. A leader who lacks vision will fail. No matter how good you are at moving, turning the wheels, you have to have something that the organization is excited about. So leaders that don't create any sort of vision often fail. Leaders who stay in a tactical mode rather than a strategic mode. Some people never make that transition successfully. Typically, as you move up in your career, you're dealing with more and more strategic thinking, more and more strategic issues. So some leaders fail to make that transition. They stay in the tactical world and they fail. Some of them lack the intellectual rigor that I think a good leader needs. They don't read enough. They don't study enough. They don't question their assumptions enough. They think they've got it all figured out. They think they know everything they need to know, and they get lazy about their intellectual development, and to some degree about their emotional and character development as well. Some leaders fail because they lack a relationship focus. They think it's all about the mechanics of the business, and they don't pay enough attention to people. So a leader without a relational focus will often fail. Many leaders just simply lack the courage to make the tough decisions that leadership often calls for. I've seen, out of all the things I've already talked about, that may be the most common failure I've seen, is leaders who shy away from the really tough decisions that need to be made in their organization. And then lastly is just a lack of curiosity. And this is kind of related to some things I've already said, but I think a good leader is an almost insanely curious person. They're always wanting to know more, they're always wanting to understand more, and they don't rest on their previous knowledge or their assumptions or their biases. And just finally, leaders who are attached to the past rather than to the future. Leaders who want to just keep doing what they've done and live in their history rather than in the possibilities of the future. So that's my short list of reasons why leaders fail. We'd love to hear from you with any additions to what I just said, or any additional questions for this series of videos. Thanks for listening.